Deadpool 2 is the second most anticipated sequel of the year, and it is the sequel to 2016's mega hit film, Deadpool. This time around, Wade has gone international, which has caught the attention of some dangerous people. The X-Men get involved, in which we are introduced to Russell, or Fire Fist, and oh yeah, there is also a time-traveling cyborg whose backstory and creation is overly complicated, and the film doesn't even try to go into it because it's just so complicated. I give major props for the original Deadpool. Without the producers' insistence on creating an accurate character, we wouldn't have received Logan last year. I went to the Deadpool double feature where I got the best way of reviewing the movie. Watching the original and the sequel in the same 4-hour stretch allowed me to compare the two outings. So how does Deadpool's second outing compare to the original? I'd say it's nearly on the same level as the original. There is so much to discuss about this film, but I kinda have to keep this spoiler-free because there's just so much in this movie that if I were to describe it, would kinda ruin some of the best jokes. So let's start with the things I like. As always, the cameos, jokes, and action are all top-notch. The story this time around feels a bit more like a good little story instead of just like a romp. I can't discuss it in full, but there are some elements that make it worthwhile. A film about loss, teamwork, and most importantly, family. Yes, this film professes that it is a family picture. And it is so true even with the R rating. The opening first act has some great shit that I won't get into, and as always, much like the first Deadpool, the title sequence has great things in it. The post-credits scenes are hilarious, however, if you expect this movie to make fun of Disney, or at least mention the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you will be sorely disappointed. That isn't to say that the film doesn't hold back the punches in comedy or violence. It is Deadpool after all. Deadpool, as always, is the gem of the film, but also Domino and Cable make big splashes as a supporting cast. I could see this X-Force idea working from what I got from this film. So let's get into some of the things that kind of stuck out to me. Some of the CGI is a bit wonky and somewhat cartoony at points that stick out like a sore thumb compared to other visual effects. Some of the jokes too don't land as well as other gags in the film, which is very similar to the first Deadpool. There are some missed opportunities when it comes to the fourth wall breaking that would have been hilarious, such as maybe Deadpool going into the editing room of the film and changing the outcomes of certain things. Instead, however, we are greeted with some time traveling via Cable, and I guess that works. There is a great section about Wade's losses, but I feel that the post-credit scenes, it really undercuts the humanizing they were trying to do with Deadpool. Which leads into my point that is kind of a nitpick. I found them trying to humanize Deadpool kind of undercuts the core character. I understand fully why they did this, but it lessens the overall impact of the plot on Deadpool. However, one could argue that it just wanted to mess with the general plot rules because it is Deadpool's movie after all. Aside from that, this movie is pretty damn good. Overall, Deadpool 2 is a slick little sequel. It isn't on the same level as the original, but it more than makes up for it with the amount of jokes, cameos, story, and character moments it presents. I'm going to give Deadpool 2 a B.